What up, my DCEU King MILF hookers? I'm Granville David, and today we're going to be debunking Goji Chronic's Can the DCEU Justice League Beat the MCU Thanos? Now, before we get started, please subscribe to my channel. I don't really do power scaling videos, but I do a lot of, versus shorts. But I have thought about, doing actual, versus videos. And please don't disrespect my boy Goji Cronic. We all make mistakes sometimes. In fact, he actually made me realize some of my mistakes during one of my previous shorts, that being MCU Thor versus DCEU Superman, where I made Thor win neg diff. I definitely say he would have a higher diff against Superman, but still Thor would win. But yeah, Goji Cronic is still goated. I would say he's probably in my top 5 favorite YouTube channels at the moment, right behind Death Battle, Old Devil Artemis, and Recreo. I love his videos, and I love how much effort you can tell he puts into them. And I also just love how he doesn't really do comics or manga that often. He mostly does movies or video games. His channel is a bit more unique than other versus channels when it comes to the topics he covers, but that doesn't mean I won't debunk him, so let's get into it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, nearly everything about the DCEU I agree with, except for one thing, but yeah, he mostly covered the DCEU extremely well. It's the MCU side that I'm going to cover, so you're going to see them a lot more in this video.
Opportunity to talk about how powerful these guys are. But before I get ahead of myself, Thanos that I'm going to be talking about is the Thanos from Endgame. As Endgame, Thanos is confirmed to be Thanos' physical prime, both in physicality as well as in skill and versatility. And this is supported by feats, as Bro 3v1's Captain America.
I wouldn't say he's necessarily stronger than he was in Infinity War. It's just that Infinity War, Thanos wanted nothing to do with the Avengers. All he wanted was the stones. And this Thanos isn't holding back. And Endgame Thanos isn't holding back, because this time it's gotten personal, because he saw what the Avengers did to him.
That Thor is stronger than the Thor from Infinity War. And no, Infinity War Thor does not scale to the Infinity Gauntlet, as confirmed by the directors themselves.
It's funny that one of the pictures you showed shows that he actually does scale to the Infinity Gauntlet. Gonna highlight it. I mean, maybe he could have used the stones in a different way. That means what the Russos basically meant in that moment was Thanos could have used his other hacks. The axe still overpowered all 6 Infinity Stones, but he could have used the stones in a different way. He could have turned the axe into bubbles. He could have used a portal to get away. He could have stopped time. He could have rewound time. All sorts of things. However, I do agree with your statement that Thor in Endgame is stronger, and Thanos is stronger than Thor. And I do agree that, planetary Thor is, more consistent than Universal. So I get where you're getting at, but even Universal isn't that inconsistent, seeing how literally, right after the Infinity War saga, Wanda was, making pocket dimensions, and Thanos, in his battle with Doctor Strange, literally broke the mirror dimension with the Power Stone. So yeah, but I do agree that, planetary Thanos is definitely more consistent.
Multi-continental scaling for even Phase 1 Thor. Thanos was able to take blows from Mjolnir, as well as fight a stronger Thor while he had help. Thanos also has multiple statements confirming him to be the most powerful being in the universe. Obviously, this statement is made by people who don't even know about cosmic entities, like the Celestials, for example. But using these scans, you can argue Thanos upscales people like Thor, as Thor was pretty well known in the universe at this point. But all this would mean that Thanos would fall into the upper echelons of multi-continental team.
Okay. Well, guess who else he would upscale from being the strongest person in the universe? Ego. With Ego, literally being a living planet, and in Guardians 2 he was able to put in tiny little bits and pieces of himself on different planets, and he could have destroyed multiple planets within seconds or minutes. He could also probably scale the Surtur, who just straight out destroyed Asgard. So I definitely say Thanos could scale from planet level to maybe even dwarf star level, maybe even higher, if we count how many planets and its Ego destroyed in that instance.
Endgame states that the completed Infinity Gauntlet casually emits enough power to blow up an entire continent. So overall, Thanos would scale anywhere from multi-continental to more than likely low moon level. Moving on to speed.
I disagree with you there. If you want to highball the shit out of Thanos, he could be universal, but I say more consistently he hits planet to dwarf star level.
And MCU speed is pretty contentious. Some people say that they've only been hypersonic since Thor 3, and other people say that they've been massively faster than the speed of light since Thor 2. In reality, it's quite all over the place. But I personally fall in the middle of this scaling. I personally have the MCU at around at least massively hypersonic, and at highest, like a couple times faster than the speed of light. And I'll go into my explanation for this right now. Basically, most of the MCU should pretty much scale Thor once again, Thor being able to fight on par with Hela, who can dodge lightning. This instance in particular being calculated to around Mach 1500, putting her combat and reaction time at around massive hypersonic plus. This is consistent with the film's script, as it says that Thor moves at lightning speed. Relativistic plus to light speed scaling comes from Thanos having multiple instances of dodging light and reacting to light. Thanos consistently dodges and can block Iron Man's repulsor rays, which are beams of light. And also, a lot of lesser characters in Thanos who should be slower than him have light dodging feats as well. Thanos himself, while in an extremely weakened state, is able to intercept and block Captain Marvel's photon beams, which are light-based attacks. I know a lot of people like to scale everyone to Captain Marvel's flight speed, but it's kind of dubious as to even if she scales to it herself. You say this is travel speed, and it doesn't help that.
Nuh-uh. First off, Captain Marvel was able to, like, travel, like, 1,000 light years in a day, when she brought Tony back home, and also, like, you do realize she has to react to shit when she's flying throughout space. I can't believe I'm about to, like, upscale a character I fucking hate. Captain Marvel was the first bad Marvel movie, just gonna say that. But anyway, Captain Marvel, you do realize that she has to react to shit when she flies, so she doesn't plow through planets. How come when people like power scale like Nolan or Alan the Alien, they give that the benefit of the doubt, but not Captain Marvel? But also, just look at this.
On beams, which are light-based attacks. I know a lot of people like to scale everyone to Captain Marvel's flight speed, but
she can clearly react to shit when she's flying. So, what the fuck?
She is in space, so to assert that all the characters are MCU plus would be a little weird, especially with all the instances that kind of debunk that, as pretty much every character.
No. Here's the thing. I wouldn't say, like, all the characters are, like, massively faster than light. All the characters that would actually scale to Captain Marvel, like, or even above her, like, Thanos, Doctor Strange, Thor, Scarlet Witch, characters on that level, maybe even Stark.
Thanos also has the Black Order assisting him. These guys are really, really underrated, and they're pretty consistently shown to be Avengers-level threats. Whole Obsidian by himself was pressing Iron.
Called Obsidian. Yeah, the guy who's struggled against, like, street to, like, building tiers. Dude got one-shotted by, like, giant Ant-Man and got his axe casually caught by Spider-Man, which both of those characters have, like, large building level AP at max. I wouldn't say the Black Order would be that big of a difference, but I'd definitely say, like, the main four people that are going to be lasting a long time in this fight are going to be Maw and Thanos versus the Flash and Superman. Because literally Maw can just play around with Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Aquaman like fucking playthings. And I don't really like how later in this video he doesn't bring that up.
Man has Mark 85 armor. These guys are some of the most skilled individuals in the entire universe, so at bare minimum, they would at least all scale to each other in the speed department. They should all have that same relativistic plus to a couple times FTL baseline for their speed. I want to talk about Cool Obsidian once again, because Bro was able to take blows from Hulkbuster Mark II, should logically be stronger than the original one. The original Hulkbuster having statements saying that it was the only thing on the planet at the time capable of taking on the Hulk.
So he's basically done with the MCU side. I definitely say he lowballed them. Like, the higher tier characters like Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Thor, and Thanos, I definitely say would be like large planet to maybe even dwarf star level, and would be like thousands of times faster than light, as I talked about how Captain Marvel can react to shit when she's flying, and one of her feats was calculated to like thousands of times the speed of light.
Here we are with the fastest calc in the MCU that does not involve a ship or Bifrost shenanigans. At the start of Avengers Endgame, Tony states that he and Nebula are 1,000 light years from Earth and only have 1 day's worth of oxygen. Assuming Carol took that entire span of time to cross the distance to Earth, she would have been flying while carrying the Venator at 365,260 times the speed of light. Number 16, Lawrence Fishburne and Doug Jones Silver Surfer.
So yeah, if Captain Marvel can react to like lasers, ships, and even planets while flying at that many times faster than light, Flash ain't shit. The like faster than light characters in the DCEU aren't shit, and Thanos would have like no problem reacting to them. Also, like I said, Eddie Maw, I would say like the lower tier characters in the Black Order, the DCEU Justice League would destroy, even Cyborg. Hell, I forgot their names, but like the other two that isn't called Obsidian and Eddie Maw, like I said, I forgot their names. They got their asses kicked by Black Widow, Sam Wilson, and Captain America. Characters that are like high superhuman to like low building. So yeah. But Eddie Maw would just like play with Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Aquaman like they're fucking nothing.
Weapon that could one-shot him, so Superman can literally speed blitz him, take that sword, and cut his head off, and it would be that easy. And even then, if some miracle happened and Justice League lost, the Flash could manipulate time and just reverse whatever happened. And yes, Thanos has the Black Order back in him.
Seriously, what the fuck are you doing? Goji, what are you doing? What? he would just go back in time and reverse anything. Okay, what universe is this taking place in? Is it taking place in the MCU universe and the DCEU universe? Or like some kind of neutral universe where neither have a advantage, which is like the preferred universe you should use for like power scaling. But let's just imagine this is like in the MCU universe. Here's the thing. The MCU has stated that going back in time doesn't achieve anything. Like that, kind of like in Dragon Ball, because if you go back in time in the MC universe, all it's just going to do is create another timeline. He could just travel right back to his exact point, and Thanos would still be whooping the Justice League's ass. So that wouldn't accomplish shit. Like, what the fuck are you actually talking about? And if this in a neutral universe, Earths where neither have the advantage, there would be like no past to visit, because the Justice League didn't exist in the MCU, kind of like how the MCU didn't. So yeah, if you're putting this in the MCU, literally the only way this could work is if you put both combatants in the DCEU universe. Anything else, that wouldn't work. So please don't make that fucking argument. So yeah, that was my debunk. He definitely made some excellent points, even debunking me a little bit, but yeah, if you really want the MCU to slaughter, you could use those universal metas, but personally, the MCU higher tiers do scale faster than Superman and the Flash, seeing how Captain Marvel can still react to shit moving at those speeds, and the MCU does consistently hit like planetary. Especially if you say that during that time and point, Thanos was the strongest in the universe, that including Ego and Surtur. I'd say like the Justice League barely hit planet level, while the DCEU, while the MCU who could hit like planet level pretty casually. And when it comes to speed, the upper tiers and the DCEU like barely hit like light speed, or as Goji put it, could like see light speed characters in slow motion. Meanwhile, you have like the higher tiers like Captain Marvel. So yeah. Anyway, that'll do it for all this. I hope you guys enjoyed and liked this debunk, and I hope you enjoy Goji Chronic's videos like this. I know I've been like dunking on him for this video, but the dude is like actually the GOAT. He's like one of my favorite power scalers. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, Felicias.